Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be talking about the Four of Swords. Now, I used to make videos like this all the time, where I just focus on a specific card, talk about its energy, and show you a few different illustrations of it. And I figured, I haven't done those in a really long time. I kind of lost a little bit of interest doing them because no one seemed to watch them, no one seemed to care, and so you lose sight on it. You lose like that passion that you want to do it. But hey, the rest and reflection card of the tarot is something that a lot of us probably need at this time. I don't know if it's the solar flares in the sky, that full moon that came just recently, but if you're like me, you're drained. Like life has been draining you. And the card of rest and reflection is definitely one that we can relate to right now, especially if you're watching this video right as it comes out. This is officially the 10 days related to this card. It's still Libra season. The third decan of Libra season belongs to this Four of Swords. It comes right after the energy of the Three of Swords, the card of the heartbreak and betrayal. And when you have that heartbreak, when you feel betrayed, that is when you need that time to rest and reflect. Take the illustration from the Rider-Waite Smith, created by Pamela Coleman Smith. She drew it, she illustrated it, so I always kind of like think of her the most. And Arthur Edward Waite, he was the mind behind the illustration. He was the one that wrote the book, so together those two created it. Now the illustration that we have here, created back in 1909, is the soldier that is laying there. It's all gray, it's all depressing, and that soldier, he had a life before he got here. He was a soldier. Who knows what that chapter of his life and the chapters before had to share with him. Maybe he had that heartbreak. Maybe he had that betrayal. But he needs now to take that time to rest and reflect. See all those swords up there, those three swords? 3 is the number of creativity and creation itself. It's the Empress of the Major Arcana. It's saying, our futures are ours to create. And we learn from those creative endeavors of the past. We learn from those experiences of the past. We can take our new ideas and trust them, because there's one sword down here. You can relate that to the Ace of Swords, those aha moments when you have a really, really great idea. And the best way to take that time to find that idea, the Four of Swords reminds us to rest, reflect on where we've been, so we can decide what idea we want to begin and create moving forward. So I think the Rider-Waite Smith illustration of this card is probably my favorite when it comes to the energy of it, because it's that soldier. You think of a soldier, you think of the ones that go off to war, but a soldier is just, in my opinion, there's that, of course, and there's that soldier within, that life, you keep going, you keep fighting, and no matter what life throws at you, you keep getting back up. And that energy there, keep fighting, keep going, keep moving forward. There's a song, it's an old country song, and I don't exactly remember how it goes, but all we have to do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and I don't know why. That energy right there in that song, those lyrics, have always related to me, have always resonated with me, because I don't know, you might be the same, you might not, but constantly trying to achieve goals, constantly rushing. The Four of Swords reminds us we have to take that break, we have to rest, we have to reflect, so we can decide where we want that next chapter to go. Think of a cell phone, think of a computer, think of something like that. You have to turn it off. You have to reset it sometimes to get it to work correctly. We are the same way. Think of our minds as a computer. This is the mind. Suit of the mind, it's the 4, so it's that number of a strong foundation. When you take that time to rest, to reset, you can have that clear mind. You can have that clarity to learn from those experiences of the past and create something new. So there is the Rider-Waite Smith illustration. I'm going to show you a couple more and then send you on your way to turn off the screen, to tune out all the distractions and tune your attention within as you take that break, as you rest and you reflect on your life thus far. The next illustration that I have for you is from the Trionfi Della Luna Illustrated Pips by Deviant Moon Incorporated, aka Patrick Valencia's beautiful art. And here we are. This is the Four of Swords from that deck, the Illustrated Pips. This is the mass market version, so if you love this illustration, come on, look how awesome it is. You absolutely can go out and buy this deck. Amazon has it, US Games has it. It's mass market, so you can pretty much get it anywhere decks are sold, and I cannot recommend this deck enough. I freaking love Deviant Moon Tarot and Deviant Moon Incorporated and Patrick Valencia art. If you've watched my videos, you know this already. But that Four of Swords that we see right here, you see all these swords, all the blood dripping off of them, all those experiences of the past. Now inside the flower, there is that character. There is that character ready to bloom, ready to shine, but it's not quite time yet. That's why he's resting. That's why he's reflecting, so he can decide what he wants that next chapter to be. You know, we all have pasts, we all have experiences, and those things that didn't kill us made us stronger. But that energy of the four, that energy of the suit of the mind, says we need to take that time to learn from those experiences. Just like the character in here is, think of it as a chrysalis and a butterfly, that transformative energy. Take that time in that mental cocoon, you know, rest, get in that bed, just lay down and experience, you know, that time just for yourself, so you can come to celebrate that person that you are and come to learn to love yourself, so you can follow your passions moving forward. Now, this particular illustration, this may not be what Patrick Valencia was thinking of when he made it, but I personally definitely think the two are connected. This is the Six of Wands from the Deviant Moon Tarot bordered edition of the cards, and that energy there. Look at the character right here. Look at the character in that flower. That exact flower seems to be right there, and it's opened. Now, the Six of Wands is that card of celebrating our victories, no matter how small they are, and finding that confidence to stand in our truth, shining for other people to see it and appreciate it. And that's exactly what this illustration is telling us. Those five swords down there, or five wands on there, you know, this is swords, this is wands, but those five wands on there say, you know, they appreciate us too. We've taken that time to appreciate ourselves, and others will begin to appreciate us too. So that's that energy. And I feel like those two cards, just like, look at the illustrations, they seem to it's like before and after kind of illustrations there. So I think that's really cool. It's a little nod to the awesomeness and the awesome mind of Patrick Valencia right there. You know, taking that time to rest and reflect, learn from those experiences, whether we've won, whether we've lost. You know, the heartbreak and betrayal was the card right before the Four of Swords. Taking that time to heal our hearts so we can heal our minds and clear our minds at the same time. Now, the Four of Swords in the Trionfi Della Luna illustrated pips, absolutely gorgeous again. It reminds us to take that time for ourselves, take that time to appreciate ourselves from where we've been, so we can decide where we want to go next, because that's our strong foundation. When we have that clear mind, we feel strong, we feel confident, we feel ready for whatever life throws at us. So that is that illustration. We're going to move right along, and this is the Allcento Tarot, and we've got the illustration right here of the comfortable, enjoyable bed. Yes, I mentioned that with that one. You know, spend time outside, lay there, enjoy the flowers, enjoy the trees, enjoy life. The cooler weather that we're getting here in the Northern Hemisphere as the leaves start changing, you know, appreciate it. Take that time to rest, take that time to reflect, appreciate all the good in your life, so you can become that strong foundation you need to achieve whatever creative endeavor you want to do moving forward. You've even got that little nod to the soldier right there down by the bedpost right there, because, you know, he was the soldier away at work, so he needs to take that time to decide where he wants to go next, what he wants this next chapter to be. The air symbol is right there, and we have the spades right there, so it kind of reminds us, you know, of the playing cards. And this deck is so cool with that. There are so many symbols right here to just spark your intuition, spark your inspiration. And right there in the background is that peace sign, you know, finding that peace and harmony so we can let go of the experiences of the past. The strong foundation card of the Four, that's followed by the Five of the suit of the mind, that victor or victim card. We need to take that time to learn where we've been. No matter if, you know, life has made us a victim in the past, we can be victors of our story moving forward when we take that time to rest and reflect on where we've been before. The yellow of this illustration with all those spades and everything reminds us that when we have those clear minds, when we learn from those experiences of the past, when we reflect on where we've been, we can start focusing on what we want to create and where we want to go next, what we want that next chapter to be. You know, Libra energy, this is the suit of Libra, the 2, the 3, and the 4, as well as the Queen of Swords, and that third deacon of you know, right now where the Four of Swords is that King of Cups, because it relates to Scorpio. So as we get into that energy of death is the card astrologically connected to Scorpio. We focus, you know, on what needs to go, what we need to clear our minds up so we can focus on what needs to be reborn, what needs to create. Remember, like the Four of Swords over there with the Trionfi Della Luna becomes that celebratory, that star that's born to shine. So when we find that star within, when we find that strong foundation within, we can begin creating the lives we want to live. We can begin being the victors of our story, we can begin finding that peace and harmony that lives within us that we are able to achieve. So the energy right here at the Allcento Tarot says, put that sword down, put that put the negative things to rest so we can find that rest and reflection that we deserve and begin creating what we want in our lives. This might just be like illustrations of the Four of Swords, rest and reflect, rest and reflect, rest and reflect. But it's a message, too, that we need to take that time to rest and reflect so we can decide what we want the next chapter of our lives to be, what we want to achieve moving forward. And the first step is clearing that mind of the stress of the past. Now, the next illustration I have is from the Outsider Tarot, created by Bobby Abate. And this illustration right here is one that I feel like is very, very, very important. You see there, it's called Eyes. Eyes replaces the sword suit in this deck, and it's like all the eyes are on us, all those experiences, all the people looking at us, and even those distractions that keep us from focusing on the own inner work, our shadow work, so we can find that strong foundation within. That energy is right there with that card, and you've even got the symbol for Jupiter right there, and I'm not exactly sure where that plays in. Maybe it's Jupiter in Libra. And then energy of Libra, that is the sign of partnerships. And a lot of times from experience, I've met people, my best friend is Libra, and that energy there, they want everybody to shine, everybody around them to shine. They want them to stand up and show the world what they're made of, and then they kind of stay in the background. They're the ones behind the scenes. But these Librans, they absolutely deserve to shine too. You do as well. No matter what life threw at you, you can be that Six of Wands energy, that victor. Everybody's celebrating you. But the first step you have to take is to celebrate yourself. So this energy of the Four of Eyes or Four of Swords kind of says, tune out those distractions. Tune out those other people's stories. Start writing yours. Start speaking yours. Start following your truth by finding that strong foundation that you are all on your own. So much of life, and come on, we're YouTube. We're watching YouTube right now. So much of life is us looking at a picture, looking at a screen. And that's a decent way to rest, take that time to rest as you're laying in that bed, as you're laying in that mausoleum, as you're sitting in that cocoon right there. There's a television or some sort of screen that we can, pay attention to, that we can lose sight on our own stuff, and the past, might not have been kind. So we want to take that time to focus on the distractions. And the Four of Eyes right here, the Libra symbol right there, and the Jupiter symbol right there says, luck and good fortune can be found when we find that partnership with our higher selves within, when we start communicating with ourselves and tune out those distractions and start focusing within. And that is what I'm going to leave you on with one final card to share, and it is the Modern Love Tarot by Ethany. And it's just, I love this illustration. This is such a fun, comfortable, enjoyable illustration. All those swords, see all those swords right there around it? We go back to this illustration over here. See, they're all pointed. Like all these are pointed right there towards the character. You're still focused on that negativity. You're still holding on to that. You have yet to find that strong foundation. All these are pointed at the character, at the one in there. You're still in danger. You're still letting that mind work overtime against you. Even these are all pointing down. It's like forcing you to take that time to look within, to learn from those experiences of your past. And there, you've tuned out the distractions. We're moving forward. We're taking the time to tune out those distractions so we can tune within it and find that strong foundation. And this illustration, you see all the swords, they're tuned away. All those opinions of others, all those distractions, you tune them out, and you're focused on you. You're focused on your worth. You're focused on not letting those negative emotions, see the water around there? And the water's not even affecting the character. The emotions are no longer affecting the character. She's taking that time to look within, to find that strong foundation that she is all on her own, so she can begin creating the life that she loves and enjoys. Like I said, this is the card in the sequence that follows that Three of Swords. That's the card of heartbreak and betrayal. That heartbreak and betrayal can pull us under, but the three of that energy, creativity and creation itself, something beautiful can come out of that place of pain when we take that time to look within and find the strong foundations we are all on our own. So there are 5 different illustrations of the Four of Swords. In hindsight now, maybe I should have made it 4, because you know 4, strong foundation, the Emperor, the Major Arcana. But we've got that energy. We've got that strong foundation. You, my friends, have that strong foundation all on your own. No matter what life threw at you in the past, you can be the victor of your story in the here and now. Just take that time to rest so you can reset. Take that time to learn from those experiences. Spend that time in the metaphorical cocoon so you can find that rest, to tune out the distractions and focus on you, because this is your life, your story. And when your mind is clear and ready for whatever life throws at you because you've learned from the experience of the past, then the future is open for potential of whatever you want it to be. You are that strong foundation, my friend, and you have the power and potential to create that external strong foundation you want. Just take that time to rest. You absolutely deserve it. Now, if you want a personal reading with any of the decks I've shared here, like I said, this is the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, to be exact. This one over here. This one is the Trionfi Della Luna Illustrated Pips Mass Market Edition by Deviant Moon Incorporated. This is the Allcento Tarot. This is the Outsider Tarot, and this is the Modern Love Tarot. So those are the names of the decks. I'll put that link in the description below. Not really link, I'll just put the names down in the description below so you can check that out if you want. As always, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, take the advice that the cards had to share with us today. Turn off that screen, turn off the videos, turn off the television, and take that time to give yourself the rest you need to reflect on your past and learn how awesome you are in the here and now, so you can focus on creating that strong foundation moving forward. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.